Hey there, everyone. Mrs. Henry here. Just want to go over a few things in today's lesson. First, I want to remind you that we are having writing conferences starting today and all through the week. If you have not already signed up, then you need to do so. There has been a little bit of confusion about the sign up, so let me explain. On this Google form, everything that's black is a time slot that I am not available. I teach 3 other classes at Dixie, and I have planning period meetings on Friday. So what I've done is everything that's white, where students have filled in, and any of those that remain, those are the time slots that I've opened up and I've made myself available. So my planning period is 3rd. I have a meeting on Friday, so I'm not available then. And I'm going to meet with people in the afternoon. I only have 16 people as of Sunday night. And there are 22 students in the class. So the rest of you need to sign up for a time with me. This is about meeting a planning session for your narrative of a persuasive moment. Okay, so that's one thing. The other is I want to talk to you about the characteristics of narration. So this is essentially a creative writing piece that you're going to be asked to do. And it's in the narrative style. So I first want to go over what are the characteristics of narration. So I'm attaching this here. It says narration characteristics. And I know that you'll know some of this, but I just want to go over it just for clarification purposes. So obviously to narrate is to tell a story. It's to recount a series of events. Most often, narrations are in chronological order because they're telling a story from start to finish. An anecdote is a brief story. So narration can be like a series of anecdotes. In its broadest sense, narration is any account of any event or series of events. We have a culture of storytelling. We love to hear stories. Some people believe that sharing stories is a part of what defines us as human beings. Good stories are interesting, sometimes suspenseful, and always instructive because they give us insights into the human condition. Although most often associated with fiction, narration is effective and useful in all kinds of writing. Good narration has 5 essential features. It has a clear context, well-chosen and thoughtfully emphasized details, a logical, often chronological organization, an appropriate and consistent point of view, and a meaningful point or purpose. And that is key right there. So I am giving you your purpose here in part. I'm telling you that this narration is going to highlight a persuasive moment in your life. So your purpose for this piece in part is to tell a story about a time when you know you were persuasive. Now, there will probably be a broader purpose from that. And I'm hoping that through the examples that I give you, you'll be able to glean that information. So there are some examples here of narrations. I want to encourage you, please read through this document. I'm not going to read it to you, but I do want you, I have it as an attachment or a link on Canvas for today's class. So please read through this. This story contains, well, there's an example. It contains all the elements of good narration. There's a clear context. Hold on, I want to get to. So you obviously, if it's a narration and it's a story that's true to you, the narrator is a participant in the story. So I often get asked the question, are we allowed to use I? And the answer is yes. As you begin to write your own narration, take time to ask yourself, why are you telling your story? Now, obviously, you're going to tell the story because it's a writing assignment and you're getting a grade for it. But I want you to think beyond that. And that's why in class on Friday, I tried to talk to you guys about, pretend that you're writing this narrative of a persuasive moment for a broader audience, like it's going to get published somewhere. And that you're not just outlining a story that has a persuasive element, but you're telling a story about a bigger human message. Your purpose in writing will influence which details and events you include and which ones you leave out. You should include enough detail, this is key right here. you should include enough detail about the action and its context so that your readers can understand what's going on. You should not get so carried away with details that your readers become confused or bored by an excess of information. So, how much detail is enough? Well, that depends. Not too much that they get bored and confused. Your audience gets bored and confused, and not too little that they don't know what's going on. In good storytelling, deciding what to leave out is as important as deciding what to include. Be sure to give some thought to the organization of your narrative. While chronological organization is natural in narration because it is a reconstruction of the original order of events, it's not always the most interesting. So you can use what's called a flashback. And then in this piece, there's an example of how to construct a flashback. Okay, so those are the basics of narration. There also is this really great website from another university somewhere in their writing program. And it goes through structures of an essay, the use of transitional words. I like this part. Keep the senses in mind. To create strong details, keep the human senses in mind. You want your reader to be immersed in a world that you create. So focus on details related to sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. So using imagery. You want to tell a story that people want to read. And you want to tell a story that you want to tell and that you yourself would want to read. So these are the elements of narration. You're telling a story, basically. Okay. So if we go back to Canvas, here are the 2 links to characteristics of narration. I want you to please read through that second bullet there. Now let's go ahead and talk about, now this is my example, the one about pantyhose. This is my son's example that he wrote last year. And here's the assignment. Okay, so I'm going to let you read this on your own. You guys are fully capable. Some key things that I want to point out is right here at the bottom. So I am meeting with each of you this week at various times because I want to talk through the draft invention strategies, the brainstorming, talk through your ideas, and maybe help you with perfecting your outline. And it's not an academic paper, so the outline is not in the sense of like a research paper outline. It's just mapping out your ideas and figuring out what elements, what details are going to go in your narration. So that's what I'd like you to bring with you. Everything you have, bring with you to our conference, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll have some really good ideas and you'll be excited about writing about it. But this part right down here at the bottom is the plan. So this week, 8:31 to 9:04, I am meeting with your classmates and you at various times, doing the pre-writing, conferencing, and drafting stage. On the 9th of September, you will have your very best attempt at your draft, and you will submit that to peer grade. From 9/9 to 9/11, that is when the feedback window is open for the distribution to your peers, the anonymous distribution on peer grade, for you to go ahead and look at each other's work. I will put in some rubric criteria specific to this assignment so that you can give feedback, valuable feedback to your peers through peer grade. That's happening from 9/9 to 9/11. Now, at midnight on 9/11, the feedback window closes and you will be able to access your peers' feedback. You will take that, plus I'm giving lessons on how to spruce up your writing all throughout the next week and a half to 2 weeks. And so hopefully you can apply that to your pieces in addition to the feedback from your peers. You'll make final revisions and edits, and then the actual final draft is due, submitted to Canvas on the 14th of September. Now, Some of you may look at that and go, oh, I've got so much time to write, I can put it off. Please, please, please do not do that. There is an order to things, and the drafting stage, you need to be present for all parts of that. So others of you might even be on the opposite end of the spectrum and think, oh, 4 to 5 page paper, and it's due, in 2 weeks, and that may overwhelm you. And that's not my goal either. I don't want either one of those things. So my advice to you is to utilize all of the tools that I will be giving you. Make good use of the peer evaluation and feedback, the writing conferences. I am always able to be reached. I'm happy to, at any stage, set up a time with you to meet outside of this week if you're at a different stage in your writing. So please don't hesitate to contact me about that. It is very important that you take a look at each of these examples. I think that it will help you, and make sure that you read very carefully the actual assignment so that you make sure that you're addressing all aspects of it. Okay, so I will not be in the Google Meet on Monday and I will be on Monday. So today, the day that you're watching this, I'll be available. But since I have conferences with everybody, I will not be able to meet with anybody. I will not be there in the Google Meet on Wednesdays and Fridays. I'll be in there with your classmates, meeting with them. So if you have a question, please contact me outside of those hours. So yeah, again, if you look and see here, I'm not available. So I'm sure Friday's slot will open up, will close up by having someone sign up for it. So anyway, yes, please contact me if you have any questions, and good luck and happy writing.